People can be so strong, buff. They can look like The Rock 3 times that, but they can be the weakest out of everybody mentally.
True.
Like, what's the point of being strong physically if mentally you're weak?
Mm-hmm.
Like I am so mental because I can understand people based off of their actions and their personality. So if I know someone, like, and I can also tell
you
what they
don't
were
say
saying.
I'm so mental, Monica. You say I'm so wise.
I'm wise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I am, like, I'm able, especially when I know somebody for a long time, I'm able to know how they would respond to my actions. Like, I know, like, sometimes when I do things, I would know how you respond and Julie would respond to it.
Correct.
I can understand that. And I can understand people and what they're capable of. Just by knowing who they are, it's unlimited of what I can understand. Because I am a very difficult person to understand. I have multiple personalities sometimes, but other people I can understand easier.
Mm-hmm.
But something I don't tolerate is when I understand what a person's capable of, and once they find out that I can do but they know they can't do it, and when they find out I can do what they can't, they get salty and underestimate me.
Welcome to my life.
I do not tolerate that. I have no limit of what I can do.
I agree.
If I wanted to do something, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I really wanted a goal and I had a goal to do something and to invent a new type of car, I would work for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not some people, are born with talent, but nobody is born achieving their goals.
Correct.
You have
gotta
to
build
work.
up.
You have to work for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the underestimation, that I do not tolerate at all. That is, or when people, especially when people, I know them and I know what they're capable of, and I know that they can do more than me, underestimate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That I will try to talk them out of. Insecurities.
Correct. Insecurities and doubtfulness.
I like to encourage people, especially when I know that people are brought down. I let people tell me their problems and issues, because it's better to be able to speak to somebody than be alone. To know that you're not alone in that situation. So I let people explain to me their problems, and I be honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm an 11-year-old. I haven't gone through thousands of situations, heartbreak and all that. So I don't know.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't, as long as you educate yourself on certain things, you don't necessarily have to experience
To know, yes.
to know. There's a lot of people that lack logic, that lack common sense. Like me, I learn from other people's mistakes, so sometimes I don't even need to experience certain things to know better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that curious.
Yeah, because my mom is the best mom. Because everybody's parents raise them like they raise them to be a kid and enjoy their childhood, playing with things and stuff. But you can do that as well as learning life.
Correct.
You have to, I believe kids should be educated on life, on careers, on love, on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom taught me so well all about all of this, about so much things, and I'm aware about kidnappings and all of that horrible stuff people do. So I am physically aware.
Correct.
And I'm safe because it's safer to know what can happen to you than to not know.
I agree.
And to be cautious.
I
like
agree.
me, I'm paranoid a lot. I'm extra paranoid, if you guys see. And I'm also not the type of person that can watch people get hurt. Like Fight That School. If I'm there to see it happen, I'm not gonna stand back in line or just watch kids laugh at a kid in pain, I'm going to stop that. Because everybody knows what pain feels like.
Correct.
Everybody knows it hurts, and nobody likes pain.
And nobody likes bullies.
Nobody likes that either, unless you are a bully. And that if you're a bully, just please stop. That's not a right thing to do. That's horrible. Bullies, they just curse at you, bully you, call you names. They hurt your heart until the point where you don't care anymore and you just let them do it. But you got to be that's also relates back to what I was saying. You can be physically strong but mentally weak.
Mm-hmm.
You can be so strong and get bullied so easily.
What do you think are ways that parents can, or even things that I've done that have helped you become mentally strong? Like, what advice would you give parents to raise mentally strong children so that way they can grow up to be mentally strong adults?
Do not tell your children. Do not tell your children to confront or try to tell your children to defend themselves physically. That's never the right situation. Or never to your bully. Never ever. Don't tell your children to call them names back. Never do that. Because you're in pain from them. But if you start calling them names, that makes you no different than they are.
Correct.
So I give the parents advice to tell your children to confront a parent, and not a parent. Well, make sure you tell your children to tell your parents and tell a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Do not keep it to yourself, because there are so many situations that can happen that if you're by yourself, that can just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stop, if you tell a teacher, the children, the bullies can actually be confronted. Children should be taught less to defend themselves. Well, more to defend themselves, and less to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Less to hide it. And if you're not bullied, but you see people get bullied every day, don't just stand there and watch them in pain. Because maybe they're not actually getting physically hurt,
mm-hmm.
but it still hurts mentally.
Correct.
Bullies lead to insecurities, and insecurities lead to thousands of things. There are hundreds of kids each year committing suicide because of bullies.
I agree.
And life, you only get one. YOLO. You only get one life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very sad thing, because you have up to 80 or a lot. You have a lot of years from your childhood, and kids aren't even getting to experience that because you just want to call them names.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a bully and you're listening to this, just please think before you go back to school or high school or college and bully somebody else. Remember, and you should know the pain and what you're doing to somebody. It's not a joke. You might joke about them, call them fat and things, but it's not a joke. You can go to juvie. You can get in so much trouble for bullying. It's not even about the trouble. It's the wrong thing to do.
I agree.
So why do that when you can live a happy life without making somebody else miserable?
I agree.
But yeah.
Good job. Good talk.
Whew. That just got deep.
You are deep, bro. Hey.